The Advertising Practitioners Association Abuja chapter, Apaac, has held its annual Advertising Stakeholders Lecture and Youth Mentoring Program. Apaac, which seeks to deliver efficient and quality services to its clientele, is also committed to creating new product brands and repositioning existing ones. Joshua Omesu tells us more.
The responsibilities of the Advertising Practitioners Association Abuja chapter Apaac include regulating advertising communications and practice in Abuja. The regulations aim at ensuring that all advertising communications are truthful, decent, legal, and do not exploit consumers. The influx of non-professionals seem to be the bane of advertising practice in Abuja, and this necessitated the theme of this year's stakeholders lecture, which is patronizing non-professionals, the cons and cons.
Cons and the cons. It was deliberate. It was a deliberate decision by us. There is no pros in working with quacks. When you work with quacks, it's entirely cons and cons. They are all negatives. Even in the word con, you're going to get conned of your money. You will not get value. You will not get the result that you look for. So there isn't any high point, to it if you work with quacks at all. Quacks are infiltrating the business. A lot of them feel, like the speaker said earlier today, when people feel they can use certain media tools, they call themselves professionals, which is not true. So we are saying as professionals, it doesn't cost too much to patronize us. You don't even save anything patronizing quacks. Rather, you don't get the result you seek, and then that is what is affecting the country's image. So we're saying we want to take the bull by the horn now. We want to ensure that we bring into the consciousness of government and people that procure advertising that they need to patronize professionals.
Keynote speaker at the event, Kelechi Nwosu, advised participants to beware of engaging non-professional advertisers.
Well, I think the Apaac, Apaac is the Abuja Practitioners Association of Advertising, and I think that they have been worried, like all of us are, that you have a lot of non-professionals who work in advertising. The net effect is that you don't, as I said there, you don't get effective communications when you're working with people who are not professionals. So they asked me to come and talk to them and to other people, to a lot of possible advertisers, about why we need to have professionals in advertising. Who is a professional and who is not? The person who has some skills on the computer, you know how we say, my brother is very good at internet things, he can do this. He's not a professional unless he has been trained as a professional. So a professional is someone who's taken a chosen sector, he's learned that particular sector, or she has learned a particular sector and has professional certification as well as continuous training and practice in that particular sector. The other thing I talked about was for APCON itself to push this whole idea of professionalism, to run a proper campaign asking people to work with professionals, like it's been done in different parts of the world. I talked about that. Then I talked to Apaac themselves. They need to also promote, why do I need to work with a professional? They need to promote their game, like I said. They need to learn more. They need to invest in research and data and development, because the essence of being a professional is about growing your practice, your learning, your knowledge. The more you learn, the better you are as a professional. So Apaac needs to grow that.
Like last 2 years, about 97 billion was spent on advertising in Nigeria. So if you take that into perspective, that's a slice, because our GDP hovers around 400 million. So if you take 97, I don't have the exact figures for that year here, but that gives you an insight into what role advertising plays. Because what happens in advertising in Nigeria is that if you patronize professionals in Nigeria, the money circulates within the country. So it resonates with every other sector within the country, because when advertisers put out work out there, it's not just the advertiser that are working. We engage other people. We engage welders, for instance, to fabricate billboards for us. We engage masons and we buy cement. So you can see how it cascades down to every other sector. We engage people, electricians, to power our billboards and all of that. So it's a win-win situation if advertising works very well. That's why we're having this seminar here.
High point of the event was the induction of new members into the association.
Hereby affirm as follows.
Joshua Omesu, Clever News.